How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another ReZero episode reaction. And today I believe we have, I think it's episode 11. That's this week's episode. Recording this on a Sunday night. It's about 9 o'clock now. So it's probably up on a Monday. But yeah, either way, I heard this was a pretty decent episode. I've been dodging spoilers left and right, going through freaking YouTube, Twitter, all these people talking about it. I've just been dodging them left and right, man. I have not gotten spoiled, at least. I did freaking see a thumbnail, of course, on YouTube, and it looked pretty serious, so I don't know, some stuff might go down this episode. If you're interested in what thumbnail I'm talking about, it's from Chibi Reviews, is episode 11 review. Thankfully I only got a quick glimpse of it, so I didn't see too much. But yeah, episode 11, I'm not too sure what to expect this episode. I mean, I'm assuming it's gonna be something, defending against Elsa, figuring out what to do with her. Hopefully Subaru has a talk with Beatrice about that thing, Roswell was telling him that ask her about. But it probably won't happen. I thought it was gonna happen at the end of last episode, but I don't know. I've lost hope in Subaru asking Beatrice about that. So I mean, hopefully it happens, but who knows? But yeah, other than the Elsa thing and the little Beatrice talk, I'm not too sure what to expect this episode. But we'll see. We'll see, of course. See what goes down here. I'm curious what this episode is called. I've not checked yet. Okay, so this episode is called The Taste of Death. The Taste of Death. I'm curious what chapter we ended on last episode as well. Okay, so at the end of the last episode, they started chapter 3 for light novel 12 here. And chapter 3 was called A 400-Year-Old Cry. And chapter 4 is called The Taste of Death. So yeah, it looks like they'll be going through chapter 4, maybe starting chapter 5. And there's only there's 6 chapters usually per novel. So if you see here, hopefully you can, I don't know. No, it's not. You probably can't see it, but chapter 4, The Taste of Death, we'll be starting that in this episode. Then chapter 5, I assume we'll finish chapter 4, start chapter 5, and then next episode they might finish chapter 5, then start chapter 6, and that'll be the end of volume 12. I definitely need the order of the next volume, if it's even out. I don't even know. Okay, no, they got light novel 13 and 14 translated, so I'll definitely have to pick up those 2 copies soon. But yeah, speaking of the novels, of course, you haven't seen my last parts. During the episode, we'll stop and kind of look at the same parts in the anime and the novel, and just compare the two, see if there's any major differences. Maybe delve a little deeper into Subaru's mind, figure out what he's thinking, feeling, whatnot. So yeah, I'm not gonna stall for too much longer here. But yeah, we'll get right into the reaction in just a moment. I just want to say thank you guys for the continued support. I really appreciate it. We have reached 102 subscribers, which is pretty damn awesome. So I just wanted to make sure to put that in here before we go ahead and reaction. Thank you again. Appreciate you all. And yeah, just thank you guys. Thank you so much. But yeah, let us get into this reaction. Alright, so here we go. Episode 36, The Taste of Death. Okay, let's see what we got here. Got Frederica, Rem, haven't seen Rem in so long. Little Petra. Looks like they're leaving, they're getting out of here. Everything you say comes from that book. Let's see if we got some even more information from this talk. Didn't expect to hear that. Quick link to that book. What's in it? Nothing. Can you just... What? Oh, it stopped showing your future. Many years? So she hasn't been acting according to the book? Like her interaction with the Subaru, she hasn't been following the book then? If it's been empty for that long. To maintain and curate this library's knowledge is what my contract demands. She enjoyed storing up knowledge more. Ekidona, right. Your spirit contracted to Ekidona? Yeah, because we know Roswell didn't contract her. We learned that a while ago. It was the last thing she told me. That person will appear in the library. I am that person. Subaru is that person, right? But how did Ekidona know? I've been waiting for all this time, but that person never came. And the book didn't tell me who it would be. So she was just kind of clinging to that. I don't care if you're not that person. Finish me. What? She wanted her, what? Wants to die? It's not strictly accurate. I want you to free me Contracta as bound me. I mean, it's kind of the same, yeah. Alright, there's no way we're killing Beatrice this episode. Nah. I've lived here in accordance with my contract for 400 long years. 400 years ago, I think that was when all the witches died, right? Or at least when Ekidona died. So Ekidona made a contract with Beatrice to protect all these books, all this knowledge. Of course, she's doing the experiments with, with Ryuzu and all that stuff 400 years ago. And this forbidden library is in Roswell's mansion, which I guess makes sense. Roswell's been taking care of the sanctuary for, well, his family has been for generations. So this is very interesting. 400 years. I had the book. This last page being filled in. I heard. But I realized something. The reason nothing further has been written. That's where the owner's future ends? But she just wants to die, right? I mean, please do something. Kill her? That ain't gonna happen. She was not gonna kill you. We had no idea Beatrice going through all this. I wonder who's this mother she's talked about before. Make me the first. Over my. Subaru's gotta have a talk with Akidona and get Beatrice out of this situation. I think that's what he might try to do. Cause he's not killing Beatrice. No way. I would not accept that. This is heartbreaking to see Beatrice. Like, you are that person. The reason I trust my end to you is... Oh! Elsa? No, get out of here, Elsa. We're in a moment. Oh, freaking Elsa, of course. That's why I had to leave that's why every door was open in the prior episode. Or a few episodes ago. Yeah. Meili. I did take a little time. But I'm relieved to find you. I'm so glad I managed to do it before Meili. That's the second time we've heard of Meili. Wait, I'm sorry guys. I don't know why I really want to make sure I get everything down here. So Meili's at the village right now? Her like sidekick partner in crime? Erlheim village? No. Why are they after Beatrice? Why do they care about? Shama. Beatrice can use Shama? Oh. For the village. Meili's gonna be there. Before we go any further, I gotta look through the novel here, see if anything interesting was in there, any extra little details. Be right back. So this isn't super important or anything, I just found it interesting. When Subaru claims, when they're talking, Beatrice and Subaru, when Subaru claims that she had a contract with Akidona, in the book it kind of explains why he came to that conclusion. And it says, he says here, I had a vague suspicion ever since I found out that Roswell was connected to that witch. Their first clue was the administration of the sanctuary, passed down through the Roswell family generation after generation. Roswell had said that this was a role entrusted to them by the witch. Based on his extraordinary obsession with the witch and his behavior to date, Subaru had somehow managed to guess. There was a spirit in that very Roswell's mansion, one who had came to dwell there long ago. There was no pact between Roswell and that spirit. This too is something Roswell had openly declared. This is what I said earlier. And then it goes on saying, you know, he figures out that Beatrice was Akidona's contract with spirit. So I found that a little interesting in the book. I'm going to continue to read on here. And actually, the same page, just at the end of the same page here, Subaru realizes that everything they've done together is, of course, of her own free will, since the book's pages has been empty for years, as she says. In the next page, it's basically talking about by just finding out that sort of information about the book was like one of the greatest discoveries so far in this loop he's in. So yeah, it was just a big relief to him, because in the loop where he figured out, you know, that the book was telling her what to do, it was a really big, heavy blow to him. So just finding out, you know, all the interactions they've had, all the help he's got from her, all the laughs, the talks, just everything. Finding out that just wasn't her following some sort of script was just a huge relief for him. But I'll put the full page up in case you're curious and want to read the whole thing. It also says here, I don't know if it was mentioned in the anime, it's just a very small detail, but when they're talking about, you know, that person, that discussion, you know, she says it is Betty's duty to protect the stored knowledge, so it may be handed to that person. So yeah, of course her contract was, we know that was to protect this library, but we didn't know that until this episode, that she's waiting for that person which seems to be Subaru, and all this knowledge, all these books and whatnot are supposed to be just handed over to that person. Another interesting little thing here, when Beatrice says, you know, she's been obeying the pact for like 400 years, Subaru like feels tempted, you know, he felt tempted to click his tongue. Because I forgot about this. It says here, many of the world's important historical events were clumped up together 400 years prior. You know, the era of the witch, the end of the destruction and beginning of prosperity, the patronage of the kingdom, the contempt for half demons. It was an abominable era that was responsible for the fates of so many. And going down a little further down the page, she says this dialogue that wasn't included. She says, obeying the pact to live under the same roof as the Mather family, who stood in the same position as I, spending my days in accordance to what was written in the magic tome. I would hardly consider those first several decades to be suffering at all, though. But even during that time, the world shifted. The first Roswell that Betty knew passed away, and the next generation inherited the duty. And she has been, you know, watching this active replacement the whole time. But other than that, nothing too different, really, so far that I've read. And a bit further into the book, I think this is the talk right before Elsa's coming in. She says this: it is not as if no one came during those 400 years. Among them were humans who attempted to bring Betty out. They saw Betty's power as a high-ranking spirit. And Subaru says, don't lump me in with people like that. It has nothing to do with Betty's power. You merely wish to save the person before your eyes. But they did not bring Betty out. Of course not. After all, she says, half-hearted resolve cannot erase the pact that binds Betty. It is impossible for mere humans. And then she says, you know, make Betty number one. Think of Betty first, choose Betty first, overwrite the pact, blot out the pact, bring me out of here, draw me to you, embrace me. And then she says, this is what I was thinking when she was saying that, because, you know, make me your number one. You know, Amelia is in that place currently, so, you know, she realizes that and says, your number one has been long decided, therefore you cannot save Betty. And then the page after, you know, she says, you are not that person spoken of in the pact, I suppose. But would you become that person? Would you make Betty your number one? Subaru had no words. And that's right before Elsa comes in here. So nothing after that. After Elsa came in was changed, I don't think. So we're going to continue on here. Okay, so let's move on here. See how Subaru deals with this. It's going to go on to the village. Won't do any good to go there now. Probably not. What's her name? That is this girl. You probably can't see her, but the girl on the cover here, that little girl there with the little cute little dog that's probably mauls people's faces off. That's her. Mousy. I already forgot. Oh, let's see what this girl's about. Oh gosh. Or maybe is that her? When you played with us that... What? No way! It's her! All the way back there? Holy crap, rewatching the show is gonna be so awesome. Oh my god. You gotta be kidding me. And she's the Mob Beast user. That's why everything... No shit. Holy crap. Oh, that's such... No way. It's a shame the little one turned out to be... What? The big maid and the little maid from the mansion. You'd better not have. Girl, you're about to catch these hands. Die, Subaru. Die. You gotta be kidding me. This man not ever catch a break. Can Beatrice really do anything? We know she loses power the farther she goes out. Elsa. Oh my god. Let's go, dude. Come on, Beaches. Oh shit. Yeah, so Beatrice can do shadow magic. So when we learned that Subaru had shadow magic, it was said that was pretty much just debuffs, right? So it can't be used offensively. So Subaru can do all this maybe in the future. Who knows? Probably not though. Oh my god. Oh. Did she get her? That's it. She kicked her. Get out of here, Elsa. Damn, Beatrice is strong. Even from all the way out here. Subaru, no mercy here. She killed little Petra. That is true. Subaru's thinking way ahead of me, dude. I'm not even gonna question anything. Oh my. Fuck you, Elsa. I am so mad. What? Oh, did she teleport him? She must have teleported him, right? Wait, isn't this the sanctuary? Don't tell me this, the bunnies. Don't tell me the damn bunnies took over. That's all snowy. There's no way Beatrice could have teleported him that far. He didn't die. He didn't. Emilia? What? Hold up. I'm calling it now. That's Satella. Clearly, that is not Emilia. That is not Emilia. There's no way. It looks like that's Satella. She's pretending to be Emilia because she knows Subaru really likes her. I'm just calling it. I don't know what the fuck is happening. That is not Emilia. I mean, this isn't Amelia, right? Technically, right? This is like Satella? Right? This isn't actually Amelia? What? I'm just taking this in, guys. Sorry, I'm not. You can see the miasma coming out, or coming from him. It's just... No, this can't be Amelia. No, this ain't Amelia. Subaru, restart. Restart. Go back. Go back. That ain't Amelia. She's possessed by freaking... Yeah, there's no... Yeah. This must have been right after her trial, maybe? Amelia's not the one who's making it snow. Puck? Where the hell is Puck? Okay. A lot just happened. I'm gonna look through the book, through the whole segment, see if anything, starting at the whole melee thing. We're gonna go through it. I'm gonna go through it, see if anything has changed or anything interesting is in the book here. What the hell is happening, guys? So the part where Elsa is somehow back alive, and after, of course, she kills Beatrice. I'm still pissed at her at that because of that, but Saber asks her, you know, you're not gonna say you're mortal or something. And she says, no, that would be incorrect. I merely live a tad filthier than most, a boon granted by a malicious soul. Though I am fresh from being broken to such an extent, I can count the occasions on one hand. So yeah, a boon granted by a malicious soul. So there's just a lot going on with Elsa that we don't know. I mean, she definitely died there. We saw her, she's shattered. She's like a cat. She's got 9 lives or something, man. She's got some sort of deal with someone, maybe. I don't know. So yeah, I was right about the teleportation. Subaru obviously did not die there. And Beatrice teleported him somehow all the way to the sanctuary. So, you know, right after he gets stabbed in the eye by Elsa. Screw you, Elsa, by the way, once again. Wanting to know the answer to that. Looking in Beatrice's direction, Beatrice was lying on the ground. Light gushing as she faded away, there was no longer anything left to her little body from the waist down. Her vanishing arm was turned in Subaru's direction, hand open. The change in Subaru's eyes told Elsa and Melly that something was wrong. However, it was too late for them. At the cost of her life, Beatrice cast her final spell. The blue crystal still in Subaru's pocket glowed. And of course, the teleportation occurred. So maybe he only got that far because of the blue crystal that he had. Actually, I'm reading this, and this was not in the anime. I don't know if it'll be rearranged later on in this episode. No, that wouldn't make sense though. So I won't read this first page, which is the start of chapter 4. I'll put the page up. It just, he realizes, it's only the second day, why snow falling, yada yada. But then the second page, about halfway down the second page for chapter 4, he actually brings out his crystal and he focused his thoughts towards the crystal. And he's thinking, he's the apostle of greed, he's still qualified and whatnot. And it says here, that eye watching the sanctuary would respond to the desire of the apostle of greed. Enveloped by wind, he did not hear any sound, but slowly a figure appeared, walking barefoot over the custom snow. Ryuzu, or rather a replica thereof, found in the cave. As one of the individuals assigned near a lab site, it might as well have been Pico. And if you didn't see my last video, that's what he kind of called the other replica that was really clingy towards him. He calls her Pico as a nickname. So we have this whole this segment that just didn't happen in this episode. Actually, no, because you can see her right here in the anime. So it did happen, they just didn't show him focus his thoughts towards the crystal, and it didn't show him like summon her. They just skipped that little part, so it's not a big deal. It's not huge or anything. I thought it was gonna be a huge segment, but no, it's just a little thing they didn't add there from the light novel. So Siri basically asked her to guide him back to the sanctuary. Okay, so yeah, nothing too important was left out there. It's a really small scene, but I'll include it in the video anyways, in case anyone cares. But now I'm gonna read this conversation with Amelia, and see if anything interesting happens there. And actually, just this is before the talk with me. I was just reading this, and there's another segment that just didn't make it in anime here. So Garfield actually stops Subaru and starts talking to him before the scene with Amelia. And Garfield says, or he realizes that Subaru actually used the power of the crystal, commanding that replicant of Ryuzu to show him where the settlement is. And continuing on a couple of pages, I'll put the previous pages up on the screen because I can't read this all. Can't read it all, obviously. But Subaru asked Garfield if Amelia was the cause for all this snow. And it says here he knew the answer to the question, of course. He did not ask it. Despite that, he optimistically expected to find a ray of hope. Probably he was just frightened of his own conclusion that Amelia had created this spectacle herself. Subaru's question, posed with a voice that somehow seemed raspy, made Garfield spout of a ha. And Garfield, says he doesn't know, and that Amelia was holed up in the tomb since last night. And he says, your disappearance like that hit the princess's heart pretty darn hard. It threw her way off, and she went into the tomb, and she ain't come back out since. And Super says, that's crazy. I mean, I left a proper letter and everything. Then letter? What letter? Was the reply's subtext, one that made Subaru draw in his breath. Okay, I didn't even read this far yet. So, apparently Amelia didn't even get the letter. No one got the letter. It says here, again, I haven't read any of this yet, so this is kind of blind for me. He certainly slid a letter under the Ryuzu residence door. Subaru had properly written and left behind a letter saying he was leaving the sanctuary. If Amelia had read it, she shouldn't have been shocked to the point of making her fall into distress. Even without that letter, there's no reason for her to hide herself from others. It seems like schemes at work that ain't from you or me. Okay, and it says, leave that for later, follow me. Izolit's decisions? Oh, it's one of his weird-ass sayings, Ozolt's decisions put history back on course and all. Annoys me to heck, but you're the only one I can use. We're heading to the tomb. So yeah, basically he's gonna bring him to Amelia. I ain't letting you meet her. I'm getting to your princess to stop the snow from falling. Yeah, so yeah, none of this. I don't think any of this happened, right? I'm not just an idiot and forgot what happened in the episode, right? Then Subaru asked Garfield, how much did you hear from Ryuzu? I see you forced the old hag to talk about the crystal's power against their will, did you? And yeah, it goes on a couple pages. There's dialogue and stuff that just did not happen. And then it ends here, and then the talk with Amelia happens. Okay, so I'm not going to read it all. I can't tonight. Take too much time. But I will leave up the pages in case you're curious. So during the talk with Amelia, I can't remember if Saber asked this, but it says here, come to think of it, I heard you've been in here since yesterday. You being here means you're in the trial, right? But right now you're... It says here, this was the tomb and the room for the trial that... And the trial definitely began as soon as Amelia arrived there. Invited to the trial of her past, her mind would not escape until the very end. And yet Amelia was there awake, meaning that her trial had ended in... So yeah, Amelia was definitely in the trial. Something must have happened. Obviously, this had not happened before. She's obviously not herself, so... I don't know, there's so much we just don't know. Maybe it's not actually what I was thinking, that, Zatella taking over and just acting like Amelia. Maybe just something in the trial happened and that didn't happen before and just causing her to act like this. She's just not herself. But I'm probably wrong, as usual. And she obviously says, I love you in the anime, but here, she's really trying to convey the message. I'll show the full page, but I'll just read it from here. I need to properly convey them. Hey, Siru, I love you. I really love you. When I think about you, when I think only of you, I want to be with you forever. That's what I think. I'd be happy if you think about me the same way, Siru. She's laughing. Yeah, I love you, Siru. I really love you. Something's up with Amelia. She's definitely not just love struck. I mean, she is love struck apparently, but something's up. Something is up. And since I was know, in the book before the Amelia situation, for talking to her, Garfield wanted to go in there and fix whatever's happening with this whole snow situation. And then obviously he leaves, and he's like, oh, she loves me. And I was a little confused, while watching the anime. Garfield's getting extremely mad, and the reason why is because he didn't fix anything. He came back empty-handed, and then he's just saying, oh, she loves me, this and that. So he's like, so what kind of excuse did he bring me to tell me, huh? It says here, so you left the half-demon and the snow ain't ended. You came here empty-handed with your head down, and what, you think I'm gonna accept that? Who do you think you are? And obviously he's getting angry, so what kind of excuse did he bring to tell me? And then obviously Super says, Amelia, she said she loved me, and the whole situation plays out as it did in the anime. So that's why Garfield is getting so mad. It makes more sense now. But okay, guys, let's continue on here. It's like 16 minutes in. So yeah, he's basically thinking Roswell is the one making the snowfall. Garfield and Subaru hate this guy. Did you hear that from me? I mean, Roswell knows of Subaru's power. Subaru doesn't know this. Subaru doesn't know that he knows. Feigning ignorance, but you too clear. So why is Roswell making the snowfall? What is that? What? Show off the soul. What the fuck? Roswell, I hate you. I hate Elsa. This episode is fucked up. He's trying to heal her.
なんで二人を。君と話すのに邪魔だったからね。ラムには悪いことをしたが、隙を作らないとさすがに勝ち目が薄くてね。は？意外な反応だ。私の知る君はこんな場面では向こう見ずに激高する子だったが。何が言いたいんだクソ野郎。俺はお前を絶対に許さないとでも。その目をやめろ。お前は何なんだよ。二人を殺してマトキョのことだって。
He's now Ross over and over. He's gonna see what's gonna know now. Fuck you, Roswell. Fuck you.
分かっていない君に分かったつもりになった私が勝手に教えよう。君はね、二人の死を悲しんでいないのさ。驚きはある、義憤もある。だけど悲しみはない。取り返しがつくものと君は思っているんじゃないかい。
Exactly.
その説明にはこれを見せるのが一番手っ
The book. The same as is it the same as Beatrice's, right? He's the real one. He has the real one that tells the future. It appears I shall not need to explain what is in the book or who has the other one. I can't believe this is all just happening. What is your wish? A vow? With who? I'm constantly doing my utmost to fulfill my dearest wish. Who gave him this book? To isolate Emilia. A letter. He didn't know about the letter? Can't kill you. Fuck you, Roswell. I hate this man more than Elsa. Dude. No mind to start over. Why doesn't he just kill him if he wants to? No. Is he gonna be in? I did not want to see this again. I did not want to see the bunnies. They're being drawn to him, right? The mana or the snow. So Roswell's the one who started the snow. What? What is Roswell planning? You can start over, but I cannot. Oh, so it's like a different timeline. different like parallel freaking worlds. I don't know. Man, this. Screw you, Roswell. The day will come where you truly catch up to me. Must get rid of everything but that. Come like me. In what way, though? Okay, so he's not dead. I need to rewatch this whole conversation. A lot of stuff was said. Actually, reading through here, Roswell mentions, if you guys saw it, Memory Snow, the OVA. He says this is where the memories of the people of Erlheim Village would come into play. They know of the wave of localized cold that Lady Amelia will, Puck can trigger. And Subi realizes he's talking about the wave of localized cold referred to the out of season snow that occurred at the mansion, which was Memory Snow, the OVA, that is so interesting. So even all the way back there, that was just a part of Roswell's scheme. So I guess having Subaru not give in to Amelia's love was not a part of Roswell's plan, I think. Because he didn't want Subaru to brush him aside, or her aside, rather, like he did in this episode. He left her. So I'm just curious, why? Why is he doing these things? I'm still confused on that. What's the reasoning for all of this? Oh, it kind of explains why Roswell doesn't kill him, which I'm sure people understood why, but I myself, things crossed my mind rather easily. So it says here, for an instant, the words Roswell said as he approached through Subaru for a loop. So this is after, Subaru asks if he's planning to kill him, and Roswell says no. He immediately grasps what the words meant, and at the same time recognizes variance with the facts. Based on some kind of notation in the Book of Knowledge, Roswell had caught on to Subaru's looping, as we know. However, he did not know that the death was the trigger to activate Return by Death. Accordingly, Roswell believed he could not kill him until Subaru activated the looping of his own free will. If it was like that, he had a chance to... So he says, I should not kill you, however, I can do anything to you besides that, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, Roswell does not know that Subaru dying activates his power. So that's why he did not kill him. That's why he was beating Subaru up, trying to cause him to restart, thinking Subaru could just restart like that. But obviously, he can't. He has to die. So that makes a lot more sense now to me. It's interesting because we now know that the redos only apply to Subaru. So Roswell's dead in this loop. The person he is now is actually dead. It's all very confusing. His consciousness is gone. So it's not like just time rewinding back. It's a whole different timeline. So I'm wondering if time still goes on when Subaru dies? I mean, it's gotta do, right? So that means all his previous leaps with everyone, dying, with him dying, are set in stone in that timeline. It's a lot to think about, honestly, but I'm gonna continue on here. Alright, everyone, what's up? This is me from a day after Sunday where I recorded. So this is Monday, and I'm editing right now. And as you can see, I'm about almost 50 minutes in. This is literally this will be such a long video, and I am so sorry, but I'm about to make it even longer. So I'm not sure where I'm gonna put this part, but it'll probably be right before the crazy Amelia situation at the end of the episode. But I really wanted to put this in because I did not notice this the first time. I must have totally just skipped by it, but basically after the part where Roswell's getting chunks taken out of him, good for him, because I hate that guy. You know, we skip to the part with Amelia. He goes right to him arriving in that tomb, I think it was. But in the book, it basically it's talking about his, I guess, journey, you could call it, on the way to that tomb, and how he didn't get like devoured alive. It's basically talking about, you know, rabbits, hordes hunting grounds, screams and angry shouts alike were drowned out by the demon beast's cries, and the sounds of their gnawing as countless cruel deaths were playing out across that powdery landscape. It says Subaru raced past the horrors, running a beeline to the destination, which we know is the tomb where Amelia is. And moving a bit down the page, it says, employing his rights as an apostle, Subaru assembled the replicas remaining in the sanctuary, leaving it to them to leap in and intercept the demon beast. Subaru somehow managed to escape with his life. The remaining replicas dwindled even as he watched. A moment after Pico, the first to come to his aid, was sacrificed to the rabbits and torn apart, they ceased being effective as expendable speed bumps. He made them fight until they were being shredded, finally causing them to self-destruct, taking as many as they could with them. This he repeated over and over. Ha 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 ha, just laughing. It says here, he gets to the cathedral. So coming to a halt, a dry laugh trickled out. Before his eyes was a fire-enveloped building, burning with brilliant flames. It was the cathedral. Between the people of Earlheim Village and the residents of the sanctuary, there ought to have been a nearly 100 souls housed inside there. I'm just saying, you know, it was just engulfed with flames. It says here, possessing nothing save hunger, the great rabbit lacked the presence of mind to set its prey on fire. Yeah, we know all they do is eat. They don't have these magical powers to set things on fire or anything. So it says here, who then has set it on fire? For what purpose? Without having to think about it, he knew the people inside had chosen suicide over being devoured by demon beasts. That was all. That was it. You know, let's talk about how Subaru's thinking, how could they do something so hasty? You know, Ryuzu Otto, everyone's just inside there, and he's just blaming himself. And the remaining orders he gave to the replicas was, put yourselves on the line and protect me. Once I make it to the tomb, do what you want. And the rabbits are chasing after him, and of course the replicas are fighting, and you know, without regard for themselves, just protecting Subaru. And then he finally gets to the tomb. So guys, I just came across that. I really wanted to just record this little part and put it in, because I found that really kind of interesting and just cruel of what's going on. Very cruel. And how just terrifying this whole situation is for Subaru. The shit he had to do and what he saw. And none of that was in the anime, so I really needed to record this and put this in the video. So yeah, that's where I'm going to end it there for this little part. I'm going to have to put this in the video now, but we'll continue on to the other parts where whatever I'm talking about. Okay, so yeah, we got at least a couple more minutes here. So he didn't die, right? He's not dead yet. Or no, this is the same timeline, but he's gotten eaten, right? God, this is so weird. Did he got bites taken out of him, right? From rabbits? Maybe? This is actually kind of creepy, man. This is great. Oh my goodness. Hold on, there's this. What is happening? He's dying. He needs. Like a super. He died, right? What? Wait, what? What? This is so weird. What? Because it's like right here. It's like time's rewinding back and forth. It seems. It's like he's trying to return by death or something. I don't know. Don't force it. It's like the power's not working almost. And it's got the miasma. I mean, right here he loses the glint in his eyes. So I thought maybe he's dead. Dead. What is this ending? You can't leave it like that. You can't. Well, guys, there we have it. What the hell was even that episode, dude? I'm gonna read the pages of that last part. Like, I swear, it was like time was rewinding back and forth. Something was powers maybe happening. I don't know. It was like glitching. Not too much was changed, really. Kind of cool artwork here. I'll put it up on the screen, but yeah, not much was changed here. I thought the last little sentence was kind of cool. The taste of her first kiss was a cold taste of death. And that is the end of that chapter. You flip the page, you get chapter 5, and it's called Ending List. What a hell of an episode. So much stuff. So much happened. The whole thing with Beatrice. We now know she has a contract with Ekidona, and her book was just blank for years. And the only way to save her apparently is to put her first, which obviously Super already has a million rem. So I don't know how he's gonna do that. He's gotta like talk with Ekidona. Ekidona is really sus. Really suspicious. No, I don't really trust her at all. So much stuff. The thing with Meili, I can't remember her name. It's like Meili, the little girl. In the book, it calls her the Beast Maiden. She's the one who did all that stuff back in the season 1, episode 7, around there. All that crap with the kids and the mob beast, everything. It was her doing. And actually, that little dog that got really big. I wonder if that dog is actually just that one right there. And Elsa, I hate you a little less than Roswell, but I still hate you. Apparently, according to the book, she said she has a boon from someone. Maybe she made a deal at some point. Because she definitely died. Dude. But she came back. Just like that. Of course, Beatrice. Gone. She got her wish. And the thing with Amelia, of course, I retract my claim that it's Satella just taking over and pretending to be Amelia just to get close to Subaru. That's Amelia. That's got to be Amelia, but she's just in such a terrible state of mind. She just can't comprehend. She didn't even realize what was going on with Subaru, how torn down he was physically and mentally. So yeah, it's really terrible to see Amelia in that way. And of course, Roswell just takes out Ram and Garf at the same damn time, and he has the real tome of knowledge. And apparently Beatrice has a fake one, which we knew. But I don't know, maybe Beatrice had the real one all along, and then, or if she used to, then Roswell swapped it out or something. And we know that Roswell doesn't know that Subaru's power activates on death. He thinks Subaru can just, boom, redo the timeline like that. Which is not the case, obviously. So there's stuff that the book doesn't exactly tell him, apparently. Then we also know, correct me if I'm wrong, but the timeline continues after he dies. I think. Because it's not like a thing where he dies and just, time rewinds. It's like two paths, and one path just stops, and the other path goes on. So everything, that path, timeline, parallel worlds, confuses the hell out of me, to be honest. But we know that Roswell said he's dead. Him in that moment is gone. And oh my gosh, the last scene with Amelia, the kiss of death. My God, guys, what an episode that was. This show is just getting crazier and crazier each week. I don't know how it keeps topping itself, but stuff is going down. We're figuring out stuff. We're learning. Of course, as we're learning stuff, new stuff is in the air. I'm so confused on what Roswell's goal is. His main goal. He doesn't tell us. I mean, I just know that he wanted Siru to be there with Amelia and not like leave her. I think like him leaving Amelia the first time was not the way he wanted things to go. So you guys, I'm going on 2 hours recording here. I better end it now. I really appreciate the support again. Thank you for 100 subscribers. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If any of you want to explain anything to me, anything I missed or got wrong or right, or just clarify things more, make things more understandable, please do so in the comments. I'm always appreciative of it. And yeah, guys, I will end it here. Again, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you guys on the next episode. Hopefully, I'll get recording before Sunday night, because I usually only have time on Sunday nights. I'll try to do next episode sooner than later. Yeah, guys, I'll catch you on the next episode. I'll catch you on the next episode. Have a damn good rest of your day or night, wherever you are. I'm out of here. Peace.